Hello, my name is Tijuana Morris, and I am a licensed investigator. I have worked with Reverend Pinkney's case. What happened today, I think, was a travesty. I think it was orchestrated by corporate America, and there was no justice. No justice as we, the lay people, know. There was no evidence. Reverend Pinkney was convicted with no evidence. People came from all over the United States to hear this case, and this is not the end. The judge gave his opinion. I believe everything was already preset before we even got to court. The judge had already made his decision without addressing the issues that was at hand. When they put the handcuffs on Reverend Pinkney, it was devastating, and I believe this is what corporate America wanted, and it was just wrong. Now, what would I do, or what do I think should be done? The decisions the judge stated was based on the jury, and we don't know why the jury made the decision they made. I believe that it should be known, or a system should be put in place. Training should be put in place for the jury, and the jury should know that attorneys lie. Attorneys lie, twist the story the way they want you to view the picture. I think that evidence should be based on fact and tangible evidence, of personal cardinal knowledge. The situation, how can Reverend Pinkney, you can charge Reverend Pinkney and find him guilty of fraud and give him anywhere from 3 to 10 years, and with no evidence, and then you had a city clerk who got up on the witness stand, and I saw this. She got up on the witness stand, and she had to testify that she turned over the petitions in question to the prosecutor without a warrant or an order from the court. This is fraud, straight up fraud, and the documents traveled through unknown hands. How many hands? The original documents, when his attorney tried to get them, they didn't know where they was. All of a sudden they reappear. And also the Mayor Hightower, had privy to those documents. Now, all of this uncertainty, why did the jury, my question, why did the jury find him guilty with no evidence? So how can we try to rectify the situation going forward? We need jury education. We also need the jury to be accountable for their answer, because who knows, some of them might have hidden issues. The jury, the attorneys can sway and lie and don't have to produce anything. And it's legal for them to do it. They need to change that law. They need to be held accountable. They took an oath to the law to uphold the law, not lie. And not only that, jurors need to be paid more, so maybe more jurors will step forward and be compensated for their losses for being in court. Also, they need to be held accountable to their decision. There have to be some type of exit polling, and so the person who's being charged have a right to know why they found them or gave the order that they gave. Either it's for awarding or taking away. They need to have an understanding and what was in the juror's mind at the time they made their decision. It should be their personal, and they should have the evidence to be able to provide to everyone as to why they made their decision. It's not just because I don't like him, or I don't like her color, I don't like that culture. If you don't like it, or we need to know why. And you have to be, I don't care if you're a prostitute on the street. You find and base your decision on what the law states. In this case, the law stated, and they couldn't convict Reverend Pinkney. And on the first case concerning the petitions, they had to throw it out because it was unclean hands. Unclean hands meaning that by the clerk turning the documents over to the law enforcement, which also had a great possibility of the mayor having his hands on the originals. That's all in question. And if it was unclean hands in the first trial, it's unclean hands now. You can't turn the clock back. My question, how did the news reporter get the document? Who gave him the document? That's where I would start if I was doing that investigation. I'd find out, newspaper, where did you get the information? So, moving forward, to change, we need a jury of our peers. And if the jury is not of your peers, or if there is a problem with the jury, there are legal laws to remove the whole jury, or certain people in the jury. You can remove them. We need expert witnesses, expert forensics. We need everybody to step forward, because this is not just happening to Reverend Pinkney. This is happening in the courts all over. When in Detroit, the jury of your peers is made up, and the majority of that jury come from Livonia who don't like Detroit. Mm-hmm. There's many issues. Mm-hmm. And these issues need to be brought forward and cleared up.
Okay. Well, Ms. Morris, can I ask you, what is it that you want to do?
I want to reform the jury. I want to make the jury accountable for the decisions that they make.
Why do you want to do that?
To resolve any hidden agendas. They might have an issue, and another thing, they need to know what is evidence. They need to know that the attorneys lie. And the attorneys is not held accountable for their lies. That's another issue. They need to give the facts and not try to gerrymander as what's happening now. And it's a Democrat-Republican issue when there's a corporate takeover.
Okay. Now, how do you plan to do what you want to do?
Introduce and talk to state legislators trying to do a reform, and actually talking to the Justice Department, explaining why we need a new system and a fair system, and holding everybody accountable for their decisions. You have people's lives in your hand.
What do you expect the constructive results to be?
A new jury trial with a well-informed jury, and the juries should be held accountable for their decision.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
We need to unite, and it's going to be a hard fight, and I'm in the fight for change, for the better. And it shouldn't be a system in where it is now up under our governor. The rich get richer and the poor get poor. And the rich is almost enslaving the poor. And it's not about color. Right now, it's about class.
Do you have a message for Reverend Pinkney before we wind up?
Reverend Pinkney, get the information to me. I'll get it out. We are doing the best that we can to gather as many troops as we can, and we need legal help. We need legal help. We need grassroots workers' help, and we need all the grassroots to come together and unite as one and form this portion of what I'm talking about, the voters' rights and the suppression voter issue, as well as training and accountability. We need to change the law for the lawyers, that they will be held accountable for the lies that they tell. Juries should not sway or to the right of the prosecutor because they think he's right. If he's right, he have to prove he's right, just like the defense have to.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Miss Morris.
Okay, and also I'd like to ask everybody, please go to Banco's website, donate money for the defense fund, and moving forward. Reverend Pinkney, I love you. I believe in you, and I thank you for the fight that you took. Thank you.
Thank you.